Welcome to Reseller Recap, where we talk all things reselling across multiple platforms. Join us for real-life discussions on how we crush the elusive work-life balance. Grab a coffee and join us now.
Welcome back to did I take your spot? Go ahead.
Welcome back to another episode of Reseller Recap. We're missing one, I know, but Jen and Emily are here. We will tag G. Morgan in later. So we are at Prosper in Vegas right now. This is day, I think, really big one of Expo Hall.
Yes.
But if anybody knows anything about Prosper, like
we've been here since
2 days
Monday.
before. Yeah.
So this is day 3 for us for parties, but day 1 on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's going fantastic. Who have you talked to so far?
I have talked to 3 Colts, Walmart, Seller Basics, some Amazon people. I don't know how many service providers. Like, you see people at night, and you're like, let's share a taxi. We're going to the same place. And then you learn their whole life story. And the next day, then you find out what they actually do for a living and how they can help you and how you can help them. So that's been super fun because I feel like it's not cold introductions. Like, I'm not walking up to somebody like, what do you do? Or they're not trying to go, what do you do? You bond over the nighttime stuff, and then you do the real nitty-gritty during the day.
Yeah. And you know what I've heard is, last year at Prosper, I was walking around to everybody like, what are you doing for Walmart? Like, tell us, what do you have for Walmart? And people, I think, didn't realize, like, Walmart is the move.
Yeah.
Walmart is the play. And they were like, oh, not like all the things.
Yeah.
This year, the conversation around Walmart, the demand, the tools showing up with new features for Walmart has been insane. So that's nice because I did feel like the Walmart is great for their sellers, like they're providing so much support, but it's great to have like community support. Like the other providers in the industry are realizing there's a demand, there's a need for the sellers. How can we integrate? How can we help? How can we streamline? So, like, wild. Last year, I was like asking them, what do you have for Walmart? And they're like, this year people are like, Walmart signs, and what are you doing on Walmart? And how can we help you? So that's been like wild.
That's huge. Half of this expo floor is providers for Walmart sellers, and I feel like when they were advertising the show, it made it sound like it was an Amazon show.
Don't say the A word here.
The other e-commerce platform.
There's a lot of them.
But I feel like they were marketing for like just a small niche, like this is such a big space. There's so many platforms. There's so many ways to sell. So it's nice to see all of it here.
Isn't this little setup so cute though?
I know. Look at us. We are hanging in the Walmart booth. They love us. P.S. And we love them.
Yes.
Shout out. I just did a little podcast too with them, so that'll be cool. That we'll try to share that on ours when that comes out. I'm trying to think what else is going on.
I think if you come to events like this, you have to show up. You have to show up for yourself.
Yeah.
If you're a brand, if you're a seller, if you're a reseller, whatever it is, if you come and you don't plan to show up, then stay home. Because the whole point is networking. You're either networking with service providers and like you want to be their best friends. You want to be a contact. So if something breaks, if something falls apart, you have a number.
Yeah.
And all of these people want to network with you, but you really have to be willing to show up as your like most outrageous, outgoing self to make that work. So Prosper is a great event if you do want to connect with service providers. Service providers in the space who are like doing the nitty gritty, not like fancy guru, anything like that. Everybody here, I mean, this is you have to buy a ticket, a high price ticket to be here. So people are real sellers.
Yeah.
Like they're in it. They're the thing. There's no fake sellers around here. I do really appreciate that because I said last night, I was like, I love that we're going to events and everybody there is like farther down the road than I am. So that means I'm going to get like the best information. I'm not getting like fake, I'm getting just information from people doing it in the trenches.
Yeah.
And Prosper's a great show to network. It's a great show for after parties, meet service providers, hang out with people like us because we're so cool.
We are super fun. Like, people want to hang with us in real life.
Jen is so funny. She's like the mother hen wherever she goes. And I'm like, Jen. I lose her for a second and she's talking to somebody else. I'm like,
but here's the fun thing too. Like some of these service providers today, I went up to them and I'm like, excuse me, this doesn't work. I have a problem with this. You changed your pricing, da da da. And they're like, wow, okay, have you told us that? And I'm like, yeah, here's the cases I opened with you, and this is your answers to me. And the owner of the company's like, I'm going to email you. And also, we want to hear your voice more, because the thing with, there's so many of us women in this space, but not, people are afraid to talk up. Like, we're afraid to use our voices, and we're such a huge part of this community, and we just don't talk. So you need to use your voice, because people want to hear us, and people want to know what we have to say about things, because they know we exist.
If you don't like the people being platformed and you don't show up, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear. They're like, oh, I don't want to show up. Then the people who do show up, they're going to be platformed. So if you want to make a change, if you want your voice to be heard, if you want what you say to matter on these platforms and they make those changes, you have to actually show up and be there and open the cases. But it is amazing. Like, maybe you've encountered a couple insecure people or platforms that when you voice your opinion, they're rude about it. But
that's not the majority at all.
Businesses want
they want to be
feedback.
better.
They want to hear, like, what's not working. They want to hear.
Well, just complaining to complain, like, a lot of them have Facebook groups, and people just go on there to complain, but nobody's saying what the real issue is and what they want. And if you can give them actionable items, they are happy to make that happen.
Yeah. And I think that's why people love Walmart, is because they're listening to their sellers. Like, I props. We need to do the clapping sounds right here for Walmart, because when you can, like, on a Tuesday say, hey, this is down on the platform, and on next Tuesday it's fixed.
Yes.
And man, I'm like, let's go.
The feedback.
I think that's why Walmart, when we come back a year from now, Walmart, and I keep saying this because 2 years ago, I was like, I want to be the first influencer in the space to tell you should be on Walmart. And now everybody's saying it. Next year at Prosper, I guarantee that main conversation is how Walmart is dominating.
Yes.
So you've heard it here first.
Breaking news. We've been saying it for, 3 years now. Shocker.
Nobody listens.
Nobody listens. But maybe they're starting to. And that's the nice thing. Like, I feel like you guys are starting to listen. So that's a good thing.
I keep saying this, but, like, Jen is really smart.
Shocker.
I'm also smart.
Shocker. I've done things in the real world. I'm not.
The funny thing about Jen is, like, I want to deliver the bad news gently to these brands when I'm like, I do like you, but, and she's like, you suck. Let's just say what's happening.
No, I'm like, this is just not working. And why did you force me to do this upgrade and pay more? And I don't need it for my business. And
they'll be like, why aren't you using us? Because you're too expensive.
Yeah, you're too expensive, or you don't have this feature. You can make this feature happen. Oh, that's it. Yes. And also, not everybody is trying to be a $10 million seller or a $1 billion seller. Not everybody wants to be that. And I think that's been a big eye-opener to some of the people I'm talking to, that I'm like, hey, there's some of us that just want to provide extra income for our families. This is all I want to do. I got into this to have flexibility. I don't need to be doing all of it. Because, like, literally we were on that one party bus last night, going to another club or party, which I didn't get to see DJ Pelly D. I am a little sad. Aaron asked me if I was sad this morning. I am a little sad.
I know.
My little, 20-year-old self had a moment. But we're looking at the bus, and which I bought our good friend Diana. She's here. She's like, you realize this bus is probably worth like $100 billion of sales a year. I was like, probably. And I'm like down here, and I'm okay with it. Because I'm still here. I'm still invited.
If you feel this overwhelming pressure and need, you might just be in the wrong community. If you don't feel like it's never enough, I do feel like there's that, like,
rat race. I don't
FOMO of the hustle culture that's super negative. And I talk about hustle a lot, and I think there is benefits to that because it identifies some of what we do, but you kind of can see that at events like, let's go harder, let's push harder. Yeah. Like, the answer is not always go harder, do more. Yeah. Sometimes the answer is work smarter, refine the process, outsource, connect with smarter people. Yeah. So, and that happens. You realize that when you, like, network with other people at these events, you realize, oh my God, sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you connect with the right people. And you're like, I'm so glad. Yeah. Like, we sat down for lunch and we met a guy And I feel like that could be such a good connection. He's
Yeah.
into VAs, and he's like, I gotta hook you up with these VAs. They're amazing. They're family. We love helping them. And
Yeah.
like, I need that right now. So like, coming to these events can help me streamline my process.
Yeah.
But I have to be willing to like get out of my comfort zone. That is the price of entry. And anything, it is getting out of your comfort zone.
Well, it was kind of eye-opening to me because in my mind, a VA just sounds so expensive and just so unattainable, and like, do I really have enough for them to do? And he was saying, like, you can say I only want a few hours a week, or you can share them with people, and a lot of them, like, I mean, you can just pay them like a couple $100 a month, like for full time, like whether you use them or not. And it's kind of amazing to me. I don't know. It's like now the wheels are turning of what could I have someone help me with? And then there's also a guy that comes in and like audits your business and says, here's where you're wasting a lot of time in your business, and here's like some automation that, you know, would work for that, or you should have a VA, or you should have this, and he tells you where your pain points are, and it's a free service. Like, you can pay him to like help you find the people, but he at least tells you what it is that you need for your business to help it work, you know, be easier. Because he goes, what do you need? I go, I need a wife. And he's like, oh, are you looking to get married? I'm like, no, sir, I need a wife.
We almost did get married last night.
Oh, yeah, we did.
In a
At the Little White Chapel, which there's still tonight.
There's still tonight. And that like that dinged in our brain. That dunked in our brain so quickly. Like, but do we
saw it and we're like,
no one else is around that fits. Like, if this shoe fits.
I feel like Brandon and we would be like, sure, you guys,
whatever.
Right.
We're doing it for you, for the content of it.
Yeah. If we do it, we will film it. How about that?
Thank you guys for watching and being here. I'm like looking at everything. When you play this back, my eyes.
I know. Well, because look, we're trying to do it from the hall because we want you guys to be part of it. We're sitting in the Walmart booth in this like really cool car type chair thing. I feel like I'm like one of those kids in one of those car beds. I'm having that kind of moment.
Yep.
But we wanted to be here on the floor to bring you guys kind of the update of what's going on. Maybe we'll record a little something tomorrow to kind of give you a recap of like tonight and everything. But these are just going to be short ones, just so you know what we're up to.
Thanks for watching.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
We are back from Vegas, but I feel like has our soul entered into our body again yet? How are you feeling after our trip?
I need 3 to 5 business days
Yeah.
to get back to myself again. I mean, I kind of had to hit the ground running because, you know, life. But, man, what a fun time. And so many good people, so many people you see out there in the atmosphere of resale, and like there they are in person, and everybody is super nice and welcoming and approachable. But I also go up to people and just start talking to them. So I don't know if they were, or it was just me in their face like, hi, I'm so excited to meet you.
Yeah, you're a good personality for this event because you see how if you don't put yourself out there, you know, people aren't going to come to, and people love to talk about themselves. People are much more available when you come to them than when they're not coming to you.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also really tall, so I know I can be intimidating to some people. And so I try to like not have my BR, I don't want to curse, you know what I mean? My resting face on. I'm trying to like be, you know, more my positive self and not just get into my zone.
Right.
So, yeah.
What was the best part in like, I don't want to say worst part, but you know, like it just didn't, you weren't prepared for it or you weren't expecting it?
I didn't realize how much happens after hours at this show. Cause like from my former experience of going to trade shows and events and expos, like you are hitting the floor and that's where like everything's happening. Everybody's there like networking and everything's kind of just there, even all the after hour happy hours and stuff. And Prosper really, and maybe because so many events are happening at the same time. Cause what was there? There was like Shop Talk, MDS, like, so there's so many different events for resellers happening at the same time that it was like, as soon as the expo's over, it was immediately the next thing. I mean, one night the events went till after midnight, and then there's all the hey, you've met great connections and you want to hang out with them more. So then we're not going to sleep till 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Oh, and then wait a minute, you have to be up at 9 a.m. to be back on the expo floor, and,
Right.
talk to everybody that's there. So,
Right.
yeah. What about you?
It's a question, what was the most unexpected part?
Yeah, like what was your favorite or what was your thing? I don't know. Could be improved on. Would you
I
not?
I honestly just liked hanging out with you guys. And I know it's a business trip, so I shouldn't say that. But I extroverted so much that when I was sitting, in a smaller group setting, in a quiet
Mhm.
group setting, it was like
Yeah.
so nice. Because yeah, the entire event on the floor, Vegas is loud, it's
Hmm.
lights and smoke, it's everything. And so that, on top of like you have to be on and available,
Yep.
tons of parties. And Prosper is definitely an event where there's different types of events. Sometimes you go to an event and it's educational
Hmm.
and you're going to have access to a lot of different selling methods. Some are networking. This is booths. The free hall pass are all of the seller tools. So
Hmm.
they're booths and they're selling to you. This primarily, but like Shein was there and TikTok Shop and Walmart and Amazon. So it's more, but
Yep.
you have to pay up to have access to the sessions that are happening.
Yeah.
So the tickets are very expensive. Then there's the
For
after
people that
party.
are our level of sellers, I should say. Like, because they definitely were like kind of targeting really, really high volume sellers. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
think they're missing people like us because we're a big group, like there's a lot of us.
Yeah. They're
So,
definitely, all of these events are usually targeting private label. And
mm-hmm.
so sometimes you just feel like, okay, so you have to have a good reason to go. I wouldn't say just go
Mm-hmm.
because you see us there. I would
Yeah.
say, like, what is the goal? Because even the after parties, they all have a ticketed price you have to pay to
Mm-hmm.
get in. So if you do want to go, I would say plan on, I don't know what the ticket price was, but I want to say over 3 grand to get in. And
Mm-hmm.
then each party, you're paying 100-ish plus for tickets. So
Yeah.
give you an idea of an event like this. If you're not familiar, that kind of shows you where you're going to be at, plus getting to Vegas and the food and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I think for a lot of people, it will be not the right, like, who watch our content are like, okay, maybe that's not for us. So that's
Yeah.
why we're happy to like bring you the behind the stage, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Um, it is a lot of fun. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of networking, but of course, most people, especially if you're a smaller seller, you can't afford to do fun stuff.
Well, I mean,
Right?
I was really
Like,
surprised. Like some people were only going to the expo floor or some people were only going to the parties. Like it was very rare to see people that were doing both, and I feel like it was a missed opportunity if you didn't do everything. Like because there was just so much, like I feel like I was meeting people at the parties and then seeing them on the floor and having follow-up like business
right,
conversations on the floor, but I had met them the night before in the elevator going to the party and we did tequila shots. You know what I mean? Like it was, oh my gosh, we have all these things in common, and then, oh, by the way, like now we're talking business and here's a huge opportunity for you.
right.
So that
I
was
will
good.
say that that's probably, depending on how you look at it, an interesting side of this space is how it's very relationship driven,
For sure.
or it's very click driven, depending on where you stand. But
Hmm.
if you want to be if you want to be connected, you have to be showing up. The
Yeah.
bottom line, like the
Not
bottom.
standing in a corner, because there was like some, you just, it was like, why are you here, you're standing in a corner, like some
Yeah,
like big faces, and I was like, why are they not talking to people? Like they're putting out content but they're not talking to people. And I feel like I learned so much by going and talking to a lot of the brands, a lot of the softwares. Like I talked to Vquo, they're giving me a rep. Who knew that was even a thing with them? Because I just went up to them and said, hey, I love your software, I'm utilizing it for Walmart, I started using it to process sales even on Amazon. Like they were able to pull up how much volume I was doing, and they said, wow, you qualify for a rep. Like we're so sorry we haven't given you one. And then I had let them know about a little like glitchy issue that had been happening for like business orders. And they're like, oh, thank you for telling us. We didn't know this was happening. We're going to make sure we get this fixed. So like things like that, I was going up and just having honest conversations with some of the software providers I use.
Yeah.
And then like I was getting something out. I didn't need something out of it, but then they were like giving me something in return, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is really nice.
And we got to talk to Walmart reps, and they're always the best.
Oh yeah.
So that's always for us a no-brainer. They've made themselves so available to sellers. I will say I think they're the highlight of all of my shows, just because they want to be your friends. I mean, I'm sure they're like not. I think everybody's my friend, but they treat you like your friends, and you'll see each other at other shows and be like, oh my gosh. So I really enjoy that part of this. And the networking has been really important to me. I mean, I went to the show last year and nobody knew me. Not that people have to know me, but like I didn't know anybody. Yeah. Just walking around aimless. And this show, just 1 year later, I remember people from last year and they remembered me, and we're meeting up. And so depending on where you're at in your business and where you want to go, it can be really fruitful to network. It's just finding, no matter what, you need to be showing up at the events that are applicable to your business.
Yes.
But I don't know, any really negative side, any juice you want to share?
I know. So, well, that's my favorite. We have a very good friend now that instead of saying spill the tea said, can you spill the juice? So that is our new term for like spilling tea on the podcast. Will be like spilling the juice. I don't know. Like, I mean, I just loved like Walmart was letting us know about the conference, and it just made me even more excited about it. I mean, they were sharing details we can't share. Sorry. They told us things we can't repeat. So I'm just really pumped for that. And I felt like then I was just going around promoting to everybody that if they're not on Walmart, they should be selling on Walmart and they should go to the conference. And it was interesting having conversations with like private label people, what's working for them, what's not, because that's just not a side I'm into. But it's good to know the information and what platforms are really best for them. I was surprised how many like eBay sellers were there too. Because people just kind of always forget it. I feel like it's like the redheaded stepchild now, but it's still a constant. And some of the software providers are doing things on there even now. So that was really good. Would I go back? I don't know. I have to decide like over the course of the next year, like what my business looks like, if it makes sense. You know, for me, like, I just feel like the Walmart conference, like I go in there, I make the meetings, I make the appointments. I mean, even the girl that was working like the main booth at Prosper show, she was helping like with all the appointments at the Walmart conference. And I'm like, hi, like, how are you? And she's like, oh, I remember you. Like, I was like, did you hate me? Because I had so many appointments with so many people. But she did. So I'm glad I didn't like burn a bridge by being a little more aggressive, but I want to get things answered, and they want to actually help. I mean, I felt like proof that they want to help and answer the questions. And they had people there too to do it again, which I was really surprised. Like they just had little kind of nooks that they could have just looked at your account and answer all your questions again. And it was really, I don't know, it was fun. And I liked the interviews. We did little like interviews with Walmart. You did, and I did. And they asked some really good questions and helped me kind of like think about business too that way. And I don't know, it was fun. And we're just really fun in person. I'm just going to say we're a really good time.
Jen was just sharing the podcast to everybody. Hello, come on our podcast. And
I said we had a podcast and people were like, can I come on? Like I didn't even I didn't really invite because I'm like, we haven't done that. It's just been me and Morgan.
$1,000.
I know. I know. I just thought it was so cute. They're like, can I come on? Can I come on? And some are like, they have their own podcast. Like they have their own thing. Why do you want to come on? I mean, I don't know. Sure. So awesome. You can come talk to us. Are we just that fun to talk to?
We're that fun. Jen and I became besties. Well, we already were besties, but now we're next level besties. We have each other's back.
Yeah.
Or we're kind of aggravated at each other. We
have like a 2 to 3 day max, and then we need a break. Like any good relationship.
Which is common. And I feel like the next event, I'm getting my own room so I can have like that doesn't happen.
Okay.
No, I really like hanging out with you. So it's not you, it's me. I feel like after 2 days, I'm like, I need a quiet, cold room.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway.
Well, that's why it was good. It was like 3 days, and that's why you're like, delay your flight. I'm like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. How fast can I get out of here?
I'm the person at the end who's like, please don't leave. It's like the end of the camp crying, like, please don't go.
Definitely like sleepaway camp, like where you just become like best friends with everybody and you don't want it to end because it's just, I mean, it's a step away from our reality. You know, we're just, I mean, back to mom bun. I did my hair every day. I wore makeup. That's not me. Like, I'm not that fancy.
I know. I'm already just frumpy. I did laundry, but I don't know. It was really fun. If you want to network with other high level, I would say this in our space, depending on, especially small sellers, we kind of mix with people who are like same level, and we don't interact with a lot of like multi-million high level thinkers. Like we don't always get around like who's the next 5 steps, you know, down the road. So having that ability can be really eye-opening to your business. You know, a lot of us are having the same struggles, and sometimes we don't even know how to help each other. So being around people who don't have those struggles, who are down the road, who've done this 100 more times, it can be really just encouraging to see the future, to see what's possible. So networking and connecting with people who are further in this space than you are, I think is really important. And I've always appreciated it. So I love this event. I'm sure I'll be back. I was able to host the women's meetups there, which is one of my favorite things to do. So I was honored to be asked back to that again. And I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting everybody. So it was fun.
It's a good place. I'm like so glad that they picked you, because I was like, that's Emily in a nutshell. Like, you're such a connector of women. Because even when we were meeting women throughout the conference, which there wasn't a super ton of us, but it was like we all Emily helped pull everybody together and kind of make another community, and we've all connected to stay in touch, because again, everybody's in different places in this world. Right. And so it was nice to kind of like, wow, these people are doing wholesale, these people are doing private label, these people are repping some of the software companies, these people are international sellers, and like seeing that whole like UK market. And like, I don't sell internationally, so it was interesting to kind of talk to them and hear their perspective on some of that stuff, which was because you were, doing some of the women's meetups. So they knew that they could come up and approach you and discuss some of those. So
thank you. Well, catch us at the next event. We would love to hang out with you. We would love to meet you. There are so many opportunities this year. So we will be at several upcoming events. Stop, say hi. You may or may not be invited on this podcast. I don't know. There's heavy vetting going on. Until next time, thank you for watching and sharing with your friends. Bye. Bye.